I'm sorry.
Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Superman and Lois Retrospective series. We are here talking about Season 2, Episode 12, titled The Lies That Bind. Speaking of lies, you guys look incredible today. Stunning.
Well, that
Ow.
hurt.
Ow.
How's it going, fellas? How are we?
Man, Darren, you might as well just smash my head with a hammer. That hurt.
Yes, yes, yes.
Uh,
Brotherly love, if you will. Brotherly love. We should say for context, we watched this episode like 2 weeks ago. We're just now getting around to it. So if we
yeah.
forget some stuff, we're going off the whim of 2 weeks old memories.
Yeah,
Yep.
don't get old, guys. It sucks.
But how are you guys doing this week? How's everyone doing?
Uh, it's been a day. That's for sure.
Mm,
How
sure.
about you, Lance?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
We're heading towards the end of the season here. We are in the end game, as one would say. What, three more after this? 13, 14, yeah, 50. So three
Yep.
more after
Yep.
this. You can definitely tell the story is starting to wind down a little bit. And they're approaching obviously how they want to wrap up the season. I do remember at the time, again, this was a very weird era for those CW
Because they kept
shows.
going on so many breaks.
It was going on so many breaks. Shows were getting canceled. Continuities were shifting. We didn't know what was happening. And like I do remember entering this era and just a very weird mindset when it came to these CW shows. So it's been interesting revisiting the past that has got us here.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously we're coming off of the cliffhanger of last week's episode or last time's
Yeah.
episd.
Yeah, last episode.
Clark officially telling Lana he's Superman, and that's kind of how we
Yeah.
jump into this episode. How did everyone feel about that scene of their back and forth about Lana just being like, "What the hell, man? Like, this is crazy."
Well, there were a few things that really stood out to me on the rewatch because, one, going off of how last episode ended, I like whenever they do the identity reveals in these shows, whether it's to his sons in the pilot or to Lana at the end of last episode. It's something so simple and gentle where he was just slowly lifts that truck into the air in the pilot, and this one he slowly levitates and just does a little bit of frost on the tree. Because I mean, he could punch something, he could shoot something with his heat vision, he could fly around in a circle, but it's something really simple and easy, and that speaks to the family man that this Superman is, and the amount of experience and care he's had to hone his powers with, which I like a lot. And really the beautiful setup to where Lana looks back, because they are right at the part where they had that accident. Lana looks back there and then puts that together with what happened to them when they were teens. And this episode, I think, kind of addressed what is a common complaint in Superman media as to, oh, well, how do those glasses fool anybody? Like that. This episode, I think, addressed that in a great way. Of Clark saying people see what they want to, they believe what they want to, and that is the ultimate truth of it. And like it all comes down to someone's perception. Even if a clear truth is staring them right in the face, they could perceive it in a way to where it's not so obvious to them. And like that, I think is better writing than something like a pair of hypno glasses or a pair of messy hair. It all comes down to people's perception and the way that they see things. So I like the way that this episode addresses that complaint that's been going across Superman media for years now.
I agree.
I've always liked how they've kind of just adapted the silliness of that whole thing. Like I think Superman is inherently a kind of a silly character, and at its core, and I really enjoyed that they don't try to like redefine what it is. They just kind of adapt it into the present day, and I think they ride the line really well of it. Yes, it's a little silly, but also I think Tyler makes it believable. Like I
Yeah,
believe and I think we get more of it, when we go into like season 4 stuff, here in a
Yeah.
couple months with Lane and Sam and stuff, of just like, oh my god, yeah, like somehow you do kind of believe that they can be two separate people. Um,
Right.
but I love, I love the reveal from last week, and obviously, carrying over into this week, and their dialogue, and I think there's some really interesting commentary about like what could have been from Lana's perspective, and I honestly think it was a really interesting choice to have Lana be going through the breakup right now, because I think that
Yeah.
puts her in a really interesting spot of like, wait, could something have happened? Like, could something have transpired between me and Clark? Even last week, there's kind of a hint of like, well, maybe some me and Superman. Like maybe, maybe there's a world where that can happen. And obviously, once the reveal happens, it's like, oh no, oh no, 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 no. This is like this is an extra level of that can
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
happen because it's Clark and because we both have our families
Yeah.
and obviously that's a
Yeah.
line that
Right.
won't happen. But that's a storyline they couldn't do if her and Kyle were still together. So I
Right.
do think on that aspect it was really interesting.
Yeah. Because they addressed that too. She's like, "Why didn't you, like do anything? Why didn't you say anything back then?" And he goes, "I came back. You were with Kyle." And
Mhm.
he clearly had respect for their relationship, loved her enough to step back. And I feel like I'm going to be a broken record for doing this. I feel like this is something that a worse CW show would have done back in the day, is
Sure.
make Clark run towards her with that impulsiveness. But
Yep.
this show handled it a lot more maturely.
And I think like to almost play devil's advocate at Little Jake, I almost think Smallville makes this scene or makes this episode even a little better, because you know the history within Smallville, right? You've seen, what could have been with Lana and Clark again and again and again, and you have the dynamics with Pete, and like in a way, I do think Superman and Lois does kind of
I
work as a
forgot
nice
about
little.
Pete.
They did reference
such
Pete
a
this week.
such a random
Yeah.
name drop in this episode. It was random.
And like, even though the show is not connected to Smallville, despite what many early people thought when the show was first starting, it does, I think, work as like a very nice like spiritual successor to Smallville. And like, okay, if you like the stories there, we're seeing a different take on those characters. But I do think these characters are kind of uplifted by, hey, we've got to spend 10 seasons in this little town of characters, and stuff like that. So that stuff was great. How did we feel about Lana's kind of take on a lot of things? Is, she's very angry this week. Obviously, she's saying and doing things that she probably shouldn't be saying and doing. Um, do you agree with her anger? Do you see where she's coming from, or are you like, no, this is stupid?
I just feel as if they wanted some drama for drama's sake.
Mm.
I feel as if it's very dumb. I can't have you in my life right now.
I mean,
I can't
get
lie.
it.
I get it. She has kids. She has a teenage daughter that's going to be asking these kind of questions. I get that.
Okay,
But,
learn how to handle it. All right, learn how to handle it.
When someone has that all thrown at them at once, they don't learn how to handle it overnight.
I mean, I think, and maybe this is helped by we may or may not have already watched the next episode, but like I already think they kind of handled that in a very respectful way, because I like that sometimes the show is like, hey, sometimes in the moment people aren't rational and people aren't having a level head.
Yep.
Like this is a lot crushing down on Lana instantly,
Yeah.
and she is mad and she is angry, and I think there is some like, even I think even the show itself addresses how it's a little stupid, like Lana or like Lois being like, oh, like you kept the secret and yet the woman still gets blamed. I'm like, yeah, it is, that is happening, but like I think she knows. I think it's interesting her placing her blame in Lois, because Clark is Superman. Like it's hard to hate Superman. And so
Right.
it's like, okay, if I can't hate Clark for being Superman, where can I project
There is
that
a human that she
feeling?
can direct her anger towards.
Yeah, and it's a
Yeah.
full blast towards Lois, as much as that sucks for Lois, and maybe
Yeah.
it is or isn't fair on her. Like Lois didn't inherently do anything wrong by being friends with
No.
Lois. She feels
Um,
hurt, and I think it's good to see that represented on screen, of just like people feeling
Yeah.
hurt and showing that depicted, I guess.
Yeah, and it's that thing of, like, granted, this isn't something that we like to see, but it's that whole, hurt people thing, where like Lana was hurt and she was lashing out. But I will say one part of that I really actually liked is despite her current standing with Kyle right now, which we'll get to Kyle later. But yeah, but despite her current standing right now, she felt bad about having to lie to him, despite how their marriage blew up. Like,
Yeah.
even though Kyle's the one keeping the secrets, he's the one that was known for it. She still felt bad about having to lie to him, and she even told Lois, she's like, I had to lie to Kyle, and I've never done that in all the years of our marriage. That really, I think, speaks to Lana's character a lot. Like, even when her whole world is crashing down, she still feels bad about lying to the person that betrayed her. So,
no, sure. There's still very strong feelings that she has for Kyle, even if it is complicated at the moment, and even if things didn't go the way they wanted to. Like, that's still her best friend that she's been with and known at this point longer than Clark.
Yeah,
I guess to spend more time.
It's the father of her kids, so
yeah.
Stop cheating on Clark with Kyle.
I did really like the line.
No, I'm sorry. That was dumb. Can we go back to that? That pissed me off. That really pissed me off. Why didn't you come for me? Girl. But I did. You were. You know why? You know you was with Cushing. Probably already had a crush on him the whole time you was with Clark. Did you ever really love me? Is that a serious question? Lana, is that a serious question you want to ask right now?
I mean, how would she have known? She didn't know the timeline.
I'm just saying she was getting turned on by the fact that she found out he was Superman.
Well, duh, fucking Superman.
I mean, it's the person that she's known like since she was a little kid that's been lying to her whole life. So,
yeah, I liked it too.
I don't know. Her reaction made sense, and like you see where it evolves. So,
I did think the line was really funny when Lois comes into the house as like, guess who Loa hates even more than you, or like, guess who Lana hates even more than you? Kyle? No.
I love how he automatically assumed Kyle. Oh,
that was funny.
It's funny. And then, Lois had her own destination for redirecting anger in this episode too.
Talro is back.
Yeah, which I'm sorry, the fact that he's just standing there holding flowers I thought was priceless. And the little bit where Lois is like, "What are you apologizing for? Attacking my son or rewriting my story?" And Tal's like, "See, I told you she'd bring that up."
That was funny. This might be my favorite Talro episode. I really like him here. I really do.
Yeah, same here. I like him a lot.
I felt myself grieving for the lack of him past these next couple of episodes, because we're about done with him on the show. And again, no shade to the people on the show. They got who they got, and it's lucky they gave us the season we could have. But I'm like, I wish we could have had him back for at least one episode in this final season, because I would have liked to have seen him in that Death of Superman arc. I think he could have had a really cool role if they had done it correct. If they had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, or him reacting to what ultimately happens to Bizarro. That would have been nice to see that reaction too.
Sure. Yeah. It in a different world, like, we were very close to doing the full like reign of the Superman kind of storyline. Like, they were all the pieces were there.
As much as I hate that storyline in the comic books and I don't like the animated movie, I have a strange confidence that this show would have been able to pull it off.
I think it would have worked a lot better too, because we would have spent many seasons with Talro and with Steel and with Jordan. It's different when you've spent many years with those characters. So I do think and to be fair, I think in the original run of the show, I think Death of Superman probably would have been a bit later than it originally was. I think it would have been pushed a little bit.
I mean, even if they kept it where it is, but still had a few more seasons past that, the heart stuff that we saw through that season probably would have gone over the course of several seasons versus just an epilogue and a time jump. So that probably would have been a thing that we slowly saw the effects of instead of within 5 episodes.
I do think originally it was probably supposed to be his heart instead of Sam's. I think last minute, I think that probably would have been the storyline, and also the Sam actor couldn't do the full season due to scheduling and stuff.
Which
so I think they pivoted quickly. Yeah.
Well, that's more than what we thought he was going to do originally, because at first he wasn't going to come back at all.
Yeah,
which makes me wonder what the thought was.
I think it was probably we don't have the budget. and he's leaving. Let's just swap it and give it to him instead.
Yeah.
But great fight scene.
Wait,
Oh, go ahead, Lance.
What?
briefly,
Give us your
when
thoughts,
the
Lance.
the whole suit thing,
Suit thing. What suit thing?
Natalie suit.
Oh,
Natalie
yeah.
and I'm like, wait, I forgot that she said it was going to be for John.
Yeah, that didn't really go nowhere, did it?
But my
Nope.
thing is, it was clearly built for a woman.
Yeah, I don't
Wouldn't
know.
Right.
fit him.
Yeah, I mean, like, John's slim, but he's not that small.
I mean, maybe he can like adjust. Like I know Steel Suit kind of like condenses onto his body, so maybe.
Oh.
Oopsies.
Who's getting called?
It's my alarm clock.
Wake up, Darren.
Yeah.
But no, that really didn't go anywhere at all.
They kept doing that with John. Like they kept introducing like John's going to get a thing because he doesn't have powers, and they drop it every time.
Until they don't.
And again, I'm okay with it because ultimately, it was obviously all leading to him getting his own powers eventually.
Yeah.
But it's a cool concept of like maybe giving him a suit every now and again. Does he even wear it once?
That?
Yeah.
No, not once.
So funny.
Yeah, you only see Natalie.
Okay, all right. Which I think is for the best ultimately, but it would have been cool once. Like maybe he does it like for an episode. And he's like, "This isn't me," or like, "This isn't my vibe." But
Right.
this is meant for you. Like I think that could have been a fun episode.
I mean, granted, like there were hints that maybe it could work, and like with what you saw back in season 1, where he was able to pick up that hammer with his bare hands and swing it around. So they were.
In that moment, I thought he was getting powers when that happened.
That's what I thought too. But looking back, actually, I was like, wait, that wouldn't work because he's standing right in front of red lights.
Mm-hmm.
So
and also him and John Henry has always have had a really fun dynamic. Like I think those two have really related to each other in a way.
Because they're the
season
humans.
1. Yeah. So yeah.
Speaking of John Henry and them, I like the whole bit during this episode where they go to the mine and you've got that little bit where Jordan speeds them off after they're almost crushed. They're back, and then John Henry's back there to give them the good news, and then he's like, "What's going on?" And Nats goes, "Oh, a little sibling bonding." I'm like, "See, that's growth. That's growth from how they were at the start of the season."
I'm really. There's a world where they could have went like a romantic route with him and John, and I'm really glad they didn't do that.
Huh?
I'm really glad.
What?
John and Natalie. John Kent and Natalie. Like, there was a point where I'm like, are they going to try and do that? And I was always kind of weirded out by that concept, right?
Because it's kind of like their sister.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't. But there was a time where I'm like, they're not going to. Okay, they're just platonic friends, and I do think they give off very cousin vibes. Like they're not siblings, obviously.
Well, they technically are. Like if the DNA was tested, they would have the same. I think they would have.
They have the same mother.
DNA.
Yeah, they have the same mother. Yeah, but yeah, I like their dynamic a lot. And again, like I think so many other shows, this whole dynamic would feel like would be drama for drama's sake, being like, "You're not my real mom" and stuff like that. Which they did dip their toes in a little bit, but it's I like that they're all just one happy family, even if they're not blood related. Like I think that's awesome. I really like what they ended up doing.
Something else that I noticed that made me laugh. At the end of the episode, when Allie did her parasite stuff to reverse Tao Rowe, looking at that, all I could think of was Flash season 1. Todd Helping didn't figure out another design for when somebody's getting the life sucked out of him. His face turned into Tom Cavanaugh's sunken face. I said, "Oh, why didn't we notice this back?"
Yep.
That's the one thing Todd Helping couldn't fix.
No, Darren, you brought it up. Like how they're all just kind of one big happy family. Let's pivot to the characters that are not one big happy family in this episode. Because there's a whole thing going on with Kyle in this episode where and again, Kyle is such an up and down character where it's like some days I really like him, and then in episodes like this I'm like, damn it, Kyle, you're pissing me off. Because
Remind me, is this the one where Kyle's like drilling Sarah about who her mom is dating? Is that this one?
Because Sarah's like, she went on a 6-hour walk. He's like, who goes on a 6-hour walk? And he's like, drilling her with a bunch of questions, and then he ends up taking her to the bar where his old fling worked for like their open mic night or whatever it's called, and stuff like that. I'm like, Kyle, I get what you're doing, but it's tone deaf. It's tone deaf.
Yeah.
And then Lana recognized the bar very quickly.
Yeah. But even then, like, this is such a guy thing to do. This is such a, like, in the moment, this is, like, he's just trying to help his, like, there's no ill intent there.
No, I get it.
And so, I do really like the show kind of addresses that. And I really enjoy Kyle as this kind of flawed character. Like, yes, he does a stupid thing in the episode by drilling his daughter in the out of context. Let me rephrase that. Interviewing his daughter about what his mom is up to, right? Interviewing his daughter about what his mom's
better.
Up to. But like obviously, like he realizes very quickly, like, oh fuck, that's such a mean thing for me to do. Like I should not. Like you're going through your own shit. This is not on you whatsoever. I'm so sorry.
Right. I mean, Sarah didn't even recognize that it was that same place. So, but the thing is, Lana did.
Too. Yeah, and I guess that's a next episode.
Oh, was that next?
Yeah.
Shit, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. It's fine.
Yeah, well, like we were saying at the start, we watched both 12 and 13 like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they're definitely blending together. But yeah, I mean, shout out to the fight scene this week as well, or this episode as well. I think it's among one of the better fight scenes. The like Talrow, Clark, and Steele versus Alan.
Yeah, that was cool.
Feels very like I wouldn't say cinematic, but like it's a big scale fight scene. Like we're dealing with like 4 kind of cosmic-y kind of characters. Like it looked pretty damn good, and it's my favorite trend in the show is like anytime Clark is in trouble and still has to be like, oh fuck, and he puts on the suit and he's running out, so he's got the hammer. Like this man comes in clutch every single time, and I love it. He's so,
considering how low budget the show is, the fact that they're able to pull that stuff off is impressive.
Yeah,
I was just sitting there thinking.
Oh no.
I was sitting there thinking when they were, using their heat vision on the pendant. I'm like, I can just imagine how dumb that looked when they were filming. I know that's a horrible thought to have, but I'm just like, just imagine what they look like, just standing there, just staring. Sure. And then when they had to start screaming.
I wouldn't be surprised if they both just like shut their eyes so they wouldn't be distracted, and then they put the visual effects over it.
Yeah.
Sure.
But you get does the episode end where
Allie's
the Bizarro Tyrol turns into like a fried baked potato or whatever?
I think
turns into Reverse Flash. Yeah, I mean, turns into what, Timeless Wells?
Whatever.
No, it's Gilbert Godfrey, guys. Come on.
Damn it, Darren! We're not doing this again, Darren.
But seriously, though, looking at that and then looking at the special effects for everything else in the show, I was like, why does that look bad like that? Why does it like that? Took me out. I said, that looks like 2014 graphics. Like, how did that get past? But everything else in the show looks freaking amazing. But looking at that, I said, how did we miss that? It was like on the Punisher special. What?
Yeah. It was like one part that I don't think we really got to yet, and it's a little bit of the episode, but the whole thing where Clark talks to the Bizarro Jonathan. I actually liked that scene a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, because
he wants to turn him good so bad.
He's trying, and looking ahead in hindsight, we're approaching the end of Jordan Elseth's tenure on the show.
Yeah.
So he's really going all out with playing these different kinds of characters.
What would he have done if he said yes? What would he have done? He's like, sure, I'll be your son. Like, I'll be good, and I'll would we just have 2 Jonathan just like running around
with one of them randomly looking different.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I think that's a really funny thought. Like, what would they have done? Like it also has kind of bothered me that he's just he's stuck in the like the.
Is he still there?
Yeah, I think so. I was really hoping.
I never thought about that.
I was really hoping, like in that final season, we could have brought him back. Now that our John had powers, you could have done a John v. John fight. That would have been
funny.
Awesome.
How funny would it have been if they just threw Michael Bishop inside that garb?
Or when you have that would have been fun too. Like when you do the like Death of Superman thing and they need another Kryptonian and John doesn't have his powers yet. Be like, hey buddy, you got powers. You wanna help us out for a minute?
That would have been cool, actually. Now that I think about it, yeah, that'd have been sick. I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm really happy with how that final season went, but it's fun to speculate all the other ways it could have gone.
Sure.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here looking because I'm looking up an image for the thumbnail, and when I typed in season 2, Superman and Lois, season 2, episode 12, why did the episode of The Boys with all the supernatural people pop up in the options for the picture?
I don't know.
That's so weird.
I will say, before we wrap up here, this episode has my least favorite.
I want to stay here forever.
Least favorite what?
This episode has my least favorite line of the whole show because it ages the episode incredibly. When Sophie's like
Olivia Rodrigo or something.
No, when the like Sniper Wolf reference.
Oh,
it's like Sniper Wolf just uploaded a new video, Sarah. I'm like, that ages the show. Don't do reference.
I forgot about that completely.
You know what ages the show? Sitting there listening to like Kyle just name. I'm like, he's like, you listening to the new Olivia Rodrigo, or Jordan
playing like Injustice 2 or Mortal Kombat.
Those ones
and then they're talking about some. I mean, yeah, we got the PS5. Okay,
there was a lot of references.
And see, like there was
a flex years ago.
I mean, there are little ones throughout the show, like just a random one I can think of. Whenever they started going through the breakup stuff with, actually, it might have been when Jonathan first got dumped, where Clark was like, "Yeah, I went down an REO Speedwagon rabbit hole," and Jordan's like, "Huh?" And like, I appreciated that old music reference.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I feel like usually music references or TV references or something. I'm kind of okay with that because I think that is like a like direct, like people 10 years from now will know what Olivia Rodrigo is. They might not know what Sniper Wolf is. Like that's such a trend. Even now, like she's kind of been irrelevant even in the last 4 years since this had come out. So I think, but I know that's the current. I know streamers and stuff is like the new TV star and stuff like that now. So maybe I'm just, old man yells at cloud meme moment kind of thing. But
I don't think they ever reference like TikTok or anything like that, do they?
They probably do.
Was TikTok out back then?
Yeah. Wasn't what? Yes, Lance.
Yes, it was.
It was like 2019. Wasn't Jordan doing TikToks and shit in season 3 when he's like using his powers and stuff like as a hero on people like?
Was he?
Oh, was that TikTok?
I mean, it was like the vertical video play. I don't know if they name drop TikTok, but it's like he's making videos on his phone, and you had the little hearts like TikTok. So
I mean that could have just been YouTube.
It could have been, yeah.
But
yeah, that's all I got.
I'm sorry, just like when you said that this episode has your least favorite line, I'm like, what? Was there something that bad? And then you threw that out. I'm like, oh, forgot about that.
Bad. It's just made my eye roll because it felt like they were like, oh, we know what kids like these days. It felt like oh, that's what all the kids are watching. Kind of, I don't know. That's just kind of the vibe I got.
But yeah, no, this was still a really good episode, and you can feel that they're ramping up to a nice conclusion.
Yep, heading towards the end here.
Yep, and 3 more weeks before Darren flips his lid again.
Oh boy, that's going to be an interesting episode.
Well, actually, since it's the finale, wouldn't we live stream it?
Most likely, yeah.
Wait, so is next week the live stream?
No, that's in like 3 weeks.
Wait, how many episodes is in this season?
15.
Same as season 1.
I'm thinking. Oh, I'm thinking. It's only 13.
Next season is only 13.
We can talk about it in the afterlife.
I'm not dying.
What the? What?
I'm tired.
That was morbid.
I meant when we're done. Whatever. Episode's over, guys. Have fun. Bye bye. Anyone have shout outs?
Shout out to Darren because he's awesome.
Well, thank you.
Shout out to these two up here because they're making my Wednesday better.
I have nobody to shout out. Not a single soul. Nobody.
Wow. Y'all see all these gray hairs? Like, I'm getting old.
Why do you think I wear hats all the time?
And look at Darren just looking young and vivacious.
Yes.
Just a yes. That's it. Just a yes. All right.